back, everybody, to Clone Wars Commentary. My name is Cheyenne.
And this is Summer.
And we are so happy to be back with you guys. But this week we are just continuing on with Season 2, so nothing super special, but we do get to talk about General Grievous, so I'm very excited about that. How do you feel about that, Summer?
He's a lot more fascinating than I ever gave him credit for. I really had to go back and do a lot more research on him because I was like, you're not just this creepy claw guy that can crawl up walls.
Yeah. What did you find in your research?
That his lightsabers were obviously trophies, which I didn't really know that they were trophies. I mean, I kind of assumed that that's what they were, but that they were trophies and that he is actually. I thought he was all mechanical, but he is not. He is some organic.
Yeah. Oh God.
And that, it was pretty interesting that. Yeah, because he's completely cybernetic except for his brain and then a few vital organs.
Yeah, it's gross. It's really gross.
And that he does not like to be called Dooku's little errand boy.
Yeah! That was one of my favorite parts. I was like, oh, yikes. Okay, so we're starting with episode 9. So as per usual, we are going to talk about that quote really quick, which is, for everything you gain, you lose something else.
I like that because it's not always negative. It's not always, you're gaining something negative to lose something positive or vice versa. Because, I mean, you could gain some new friends, and lose old ones that weren't helping. You know what I mean? It's not always bad, but I see what.
Yeah, no, I agree. So one of the things that I actually really want to start doing on the show is asking you how we've seen this in Star Wars. I know. Think about it. You don't have to answer immediately because when I read it, I was like, oh my gosh,
that's an overall arc.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. For everything you gain, you lose something else. Biggest thing, Anakin Skywalker gains the dark side, loses Padme. Is that really gaining something? I don't know. Ooh,
yeah. Nah. To him it was.
That's fair. Ooh, good point. Got me there. Okay. Wally, do you want to answer that, or do you want to think about it?
I mean, well, obviously the first one that pops into my head would be the most recent. Would be that Rey lost Ben to gain her life.
Jesus. I cried on the last episode Danny, Kristen, and I recorded, so now we're going to cry together. Listen, if you guys didn't already know this, I'm pretty sure you guys did because you've listened to me for a while, and Summer is just like me in this aspect. We cry a lot about everything. I just remember us sitting in our training class one time, and then our presenter was telling a story, and Summer and I are sobbing, and everybody else is like...
It was one of those stupid commercials with the little girl and the dad, and they were like, we're going to take you here, and it was like, she got so excited, and Cheyenne and I are just like, tears are streaming down our face.
We're just so happy.
We're just taking pictures of us because we're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's also amazing, so you're all welcome. For our open emotions. How about that?
Yeah. Good, bad, and everything in between.
Yeah, and ugly crying. Good, bad, and the ugly cry. For the first kind of person, I guess, the first person we see, is it? I don't know. In this episode is Eeth Koth. If you guys don't know who Eeth Koth is, he's a male Zabrak Jedi Master, a member of the Jedi Council during those final years. So I believe he loses his life in Order 66. Spoiler alert. As most of them do. Oh, or unless he was... Did he go to Palpatine's office?
I don't know.
I don't either. So... Just a little bit about him. Iridonian Zabraks, such as Eeth Koth, were renowned for their mental discipline, which allowed them to tolerate great physical suffering. Ooh, big spoiler for this episode. This ability was born of surviving their harsh environment. He was born in the violent slums of Narshada and deemed too old to begin Jedi training at age 4. Wow, the Jedi out here stealing babies. Anyways. So the reason I say spoiler, which some of you already know, and for those of you that have seen Clone Wars already know, but Koth goes through the ringer in this episode. He's all strapped up, getting electrocuted. He is getting beat up by Magna Guards. I'm sure there was some mental torture going on. Maybe not, because Grievous doesn't necessarily have. He doesn't have the Force.
But Grievous doesn't really care about him dying. He's like, I really just want you guys dead. I don't care how you die. I just want everybody dead.
Yeah, he has a whole speech about it in this, and I literally wrote every word down. I was like, I know I can probably pull it up on the internet, but just in case. So he says, "Greetings, Jedi. It would seem once again one of your order has lost his way, and even better, a leading member of your Jedi Council." Before I continue with the rest of this quote, in that moment, right after he says, a leading member of your Jedi Council, Yoda and Mace Windu look directly at each other. I don't know if they look worried. I don't know if they're just like, oh my god, again. Or what they're thinking.
I feel definitely the whole, oh my god, again. Like,
yeah.
Ugh.
I'm just like, is there we know why Yoda's in charge. Because Yoda is Yoda and he's 900 million years old. But like, why is Mace his second-hand man? You know what I'm saying?
Because he kills people. He's awesome.
I guess.
He's like, I'm the one who's going to get your done.
Yeah, I guess. I'm always just like, why is he so important? I love Samuel L. Jackson, so that's nothing about him. I'm just always like,
they probably just forced his importance. There's nothing really. There's really no reason other than he is Samuel L. Jackson, and then he said the only way he's going to continue it is if they put more into his character. So, I mean, honestly, it could just be down to that.
That's fair. I did see the clip the other day. I don't remember who shared it on Instagram, but there was a clip of him saying, like, what color lightsabers, asking about lightsaber color, and George goes, well, good guys are green and blue, and the bad guys are red, because that's just how it is. And he goes, there's no purple? And then George goes, there could be purple. And then you just it zooms in on his face and he's like, so that was funny. Finishing his quote, he says, "Listen to me, Jedi. I do not care about your politics. I do not care about your republic. I only live to see you die."
I mean, at least he's straightforward.
I guess.
He's not like, Mr. Palpatine back there who's just pulling strings.
Yeah, not saying anything. I have a question for you as a mother of this podcast. Not of the podcast, but as a mother.
Yeah, as a mother in the podcast.
Yeah, mother in the podcast. To me, obviously, as an adult watching this, I wasn't really affected. I was just like, oh snap. You have a kid, so how did Gabe react at all? Any different? I mean, he's a little boy, so I'm sure he was like, yeah, or something. But also, at the same time, Gabe, to me, from my eyes, is like in tune with his emotions in a way that I think you've done very well in that he like tells you how he's feeling. Did that appeal to him, scare him, do anything at all? Did it even affect him at all when he saw that the first time?
He was like, Grievous is bad. He like literally was just like, he is not. He goes, Mom, because he was like 5 and a half, 6 at this point. And he was like, he's a bad guy. And I was like, yeah, he is.
Yes.
And still to this day, when he sees like Grievous on Battlefront and stuff like that, he's like, oh god, he runs away from him. He just takes off running. He's like, nope, we're not engaging.
Oh my god. Do not engage! Abort mission!
Yeah, he will like run the other direction. He's like, nope.
That's precious. So, I'm the same way. I do the same thing. I see him spider crawling at me and I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
People on the stream are like, calm down. I'm like, no, he's gonna get me.
No, he's deadly.
Yeah, he's gonna get me, and he's getting me in spider crawl form, and that's scary.
Yeah, that's more terrifying.
Yeah, that was horrible. Okay, so he does a little ending to his speech about how the endless suffering is going to be more painful for all of the Jedi. So if Koth suffers endlessly, everybody will be in pain. That's fair. I think that's pretty much true. But the important section about this is that they go to the Seleucami system. And not only are we going to talk about Seleucami as like a planet or system, but I also wanted to talk about the quote that goes after that from Yoda about how inaccurate the intelligence can be most of the time.
You're like, thanks, Yoda, for stating the obvious, and why can't we fix this?
Yeah!
But I mean, I think, okay, think about how large the galaxy is.
I guess.
So, I mean, by the time okay, you're over here in this quadrant, and let me report it back to here, they could literally just, light travel to somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I knew what you meant.
Okay,
it was just really funny.
My pregnant brain cannot think of words. I was going to say like skipping, but that's not it either.
That's funny, though. Yeah, you're not wrong. I just, back, like, to what you said before, I'm like,